Donald Trump has surged to a historic lead in the 2024 Republican primary and is now crushing everyone. This is an incredible situation. These are truly stunning numbers. Before we look at them, 3-4 weeks ago, we interviewed political scientist Rachel Bitecofer. And Rachel Bitecofer said to me, you know, David, I understand that Donald Trump is leading many of these Republican primary polls, but it's too early to glean much from them. People don't pay attention to primaries until after Labor Day. They don't really pay attention until November, December. So we are going to have to wait until the numbers mean something. The suggestion being Donald Trump's lead in the Republican primary might diminish. Incredibly, the opposite is happening. Donald Trump is seeing a surge in Republican primary polling, giving him the biggest lead since the start of this primary today. As more people are paying attention, Trump's lead is growing, and it shows us the real debasement of the Republican Party. As many of you know, I am now working very diligently on my forthcoming nonfiction book for adults, not a children's book. And I have been really going through the history of the debasement of the Republican Party in order to tell that story in the book to contextualize how we got to where we are today. And one of the biggest proofs in the pudding, or the tapioca, or the oatmeal, or the matzo ball soup, is that today, after everything that has happened, Donald Trump has the strongest polling since the start of this primary. Trump surging to 59% average in the Republican primary. Ron DeSanctimonious' polling is as low as it has ever been. DeSantis down to just 12.5%. The hemorrhaging continues. He has lost close to 60% of his original support. Ramaswamy, Haley, Pence, they're all absolutely flat. DeSantis may soon have to end his campaign at this rate. He's only 5 points ahead of Vivek Ramaswamy. But Trump is leading by as much as ever. In some polls, Trump is leading by 50 ahead of the second place candidate. And this tells us so much about the Republican electorate today. Could it be that after the next debate, which is next week, a week from today, something happens where people don't want Trump anymore in the Republican Party? Sure, anything can happen. Do I expect it to? I really don't. I really don't. This is incredible. Now, while we are reviewing the numbers, let's also look at the numbers on the Democratic side, where Joe Biden is now polling an average of 67%. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. at one point was polling 20 in a Democratic primary. He's now down to 12. He's lost about half of his support. Marianne Williamson at one point was polling about 9. She's now down to 5. She's lost about 45% of her support. That is the Democratic primary. And then maybe most interestingly, where is national polling right now? Because one of the arguments that is being made by some on the left that is scaring them about Joe Biden is that Biden's losing every national poll against Trump. Now, it really is too early to take these polls super seriously, and you will see why in a moment. But let's review where the hypothetical national polls are. There's a new Emerson poll out, which has Biden 1 point behind Donald Trump. But there is a full 15% of the electorate there, 10 to 15%, that currently supports someone else or no one yet. They aren't sure. That 10 to 15% is the difference maker. There's a YouGov Yahoo News poll, which has Biden tied with Trump and leading DeSantis by 3. And there is a new Morning Consult poll, which has Biden tied with Trump and leading DeSantis by 4. And then lastly, a YouGov CBS News poll where Trump leads Biden by 1. But there is a full 11% of the electorate that is either supporting someone else or they don't know yet. So let's talk about the themes here. Number 1, the theme is Trump is running away with the Republican primary. Number 2, the theme is Democratic primary support is coalescing around Joe Biden at the same time that many Democrats would love to have someone else representing the Democratic Party. And number 3, Trump is clearly doing better than DeSantis against Biden. So This isn't good news for Ron DeSantis. It's potentially bad news for Joe Biden. But at this early stage of the game, 10 to 15% of the electorate is not yet supporting Trump nor Biden in those polls. As we know, even a 7-point margin in a general election is very, very big. So those folks who have not yet decided ultimately are going to decide who wins this presidential race. So it's just very early. If I'm Biden, I'm not thrilled. That's for damn sure. But it is not the disaster that many on the left are claiming it to be. Here are my questions for you. Leave your answers in a comment, write into info@davidpakman.com. However you want to communicate, send me a telegram. Question number 1. Does anyone other than Trump have a shot in the Republican primary, or are you ready to call the Republican primary over? And then question number 2, are you worried about the head-to-head Biden versus Trump polling that we are seeing? Those are the 2 questions. Does anyone other than Trump have a shot in the Republican primary? And are you worried about the general election polling? Let us know. We will follow up. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube at youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. We're going to be back with more before you know it. A very quick break.